think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter.
The comparison, listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been.
He tried. You catch him, he want to catch you back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, he's not. Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
In response to Terence Crawford accepting Floyd Mayweather's offer of a bout, Canelo claimed that Crawford would defeat him in a duel. He went on to say that Crawford should be given full credit for his accomplishments because he is now the superior fighter. Terence was excellent, according to Canelo, who also praised his timing and technique. He believes that Crawford has demonstrated his incredible abilities in every class, and that both experts and fans should concur. Everyone in the sport held him in high regard.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move and everything.
Raj Hackett discussed Canelo's remarks regarding Terence Crawford, highlighting the contrast between Canelo's defeat by Floyd Mayweather and Crawford's victory over him years later. When Canelo faced Mayweather at age 23, Hackett claimed that he wasn't fully developed as a fighter. He lacked the knowledge and expertise he now possesses. Crawford, however, faced Canelo at a time when he was already one of boxing's greatest champions and its face. According to Hackett, the fact that Crawford defeated a prime Canelo in this situation increased the significance of his victory. The fighter that lost to Mayweather was less experienced and younger.
Heard that what I think is when Floyd beat me, I was 23, I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. I was the man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not going to ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not going to see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying. I do give Bud his credit though for beating Canelo, and Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire for this fight. So that's why I'm saying it's tough to say that.
When Terence Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez, Joe Rogan was taken aback. At the age of 37, Crawford advanced 2 entire weight classes, he noted, something that is quite uncommon in boxing history. According to Rogan, the victory is historic, since no boxer in their current career has ever been able to defeat Canelo on this level. For him, it was more than just a victory. It was a momentous occasion that demonstrated Crawford's exceptional talent and solidified his place among the greatest sportsmen in history.
It's like, you're watching, like, wow, towards the end, towards the final rounds, he really started getting comfortable and really started putting it on him. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know, one of those rare, like, that's history, obviously, right? Watching somebody do, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest
greatest of all time, fucking, and do what you did. It is beyond, like, my favorite, an outlier. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
Yeah. Something special. And
something really special.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah. One of those where you shouldn't be able to do that by any account. By any account. 37, my body was so wrecked. I'm like, fuck you. You know, I could barely go bowling.
Paulie Malignaggi shared his thoughts on the ongoing debate between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather as the superior fighter. According to him, these discussions will never truly stop because every warrior comes from a different era and has dealt with a variety of issues and circumstances. According to Malignaggi, comparing them is a fascinating debate for both fans and specialists. But it is also useless because both guys have compelling arguments for their greatness. He gave Floyd credit for his flawless record and illustrious career. But he also gave Crawford credit for defeating elite opponents and winning in multiple categories. What appeals to Malignaggi about boxing is that there is no obvious answer.
154 pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 40 to 54. You know, remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, you know, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. You know, people talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even smell, may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. You know, Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47, even at 54.
Terence Crawford would also possess the skills necessary to defeat Floyd Mayweather. Crawford, according to Bradley, had the ideal combination of strength, talent, agility, and intelligence to overcome Floyd's formidable defense. He claimed that even at his peak, Crawford would be a nightmare for Mayweather because of his ability to alter his tactics in the middle of a fight and his impeccable timing. Bradley's remarks demonstrated his admiration for Crawford's skill and his belief that the Omaha fighter should be discussed alongside the greatest fighters of all time. To him, Crawford is more than just kind. He is capable of defeating even the top boxers.
The GOAT, oh absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he gonna reach against one of the best back foot counter punches in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that back hand. The way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too? Man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counter puncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep, I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford hits harder than him.
According to several boxing experts, Crawford must face Dimitri Bivol in a major fight if he is to surpass Mayweather's legend, Bal, a large, talented, and powerful light heavyweight. might be a challenging opponent for Crawford and help him further his already remarkable record. These critics claim that if Crawford defeats Bivol, it will demonstrate his superiority over Floyd, as he can defeat a stronger, more experienced opponent. Such a victory, they argue, would settle all questions and establish Crawford as the best boxer in history, exceeding even Mayweather's achievements.
Let's see Bivol, Bud, next, since Bud's so strong. That's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol is the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE in Floyd. Floyd has never beaten someone as accomplished as Bivol. And forget about accomplishments like perceived threat. Who's Bivol on Floyd's resume?
As only a select few boxers have ever achieved the distinction of being a 6-division world champion. Terence Crawford reportedly aspires to make history. Crawford is already well known for defeating elite opponents and winning in a variety of weight classes. He wants to test himself at every level, as evidenced by his desire to reach even greater heights. Many in the boxing community are thrilled about the prospect of him competing at middleweight, since it would pit him against the 160-pound division's inherently larger and more powerful opponents.
And Terence Crawford and his team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6-division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top 3 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced at welterweight and became undisputed there.
By openly challenging Crawford and urging him to fight him at middleweight and not be afraid. Janik Connolly has escalated the controversy. An unbeaten champion whose reputation is rising, Janibek sees this as an opportunity to take on one of the greatest boxers of this generation and establish himself. Crawford would accept such a challenge to demonstrate his superiority in a different weight class, in addition to establishing his legacy. This potential fight is already generating discussion among fans and pundits, making Crawford's future path one of the sport's most eagerly anticipated topics.
Face at welterweight and became undisputed there. The next glamour division is middleweight, 160, that Marvin Hagler, made famous, many middleweights, Sugar Ray Robinson. It's a glamour division, right? Sugar Ray Leonard moved up there, Tommy Hearns, that's a glamour division. And obviously, the division that carries the sport of boxing when it's on top is the heavyweight division. Then you can make a case for the lightweight division, so on and so forth, right? I will say the lightweight division is number 4. So Terence Crawford became a champion at lightweight, right? So with that said, you have Janibek, who's seen as the best fighter there. He's the IBF WBO champion.
The final amateur fighter to defeat Terence Crawford was considered by an expert. He claimed that, similar to how opponents used to view Floyd Mayweather at his peak, defeating Crawford now would require a great deal of talent and preparation. Crawford's ability to play both offense and defense has made him one of the league's sickest fighters, according to the analyst. Mayweather's style caused years of frustration for contenders, but Crawford now exudes the same sense of invincibility. He is the type of fighter who opponents know they must constantly train against because of his ability to adapt, avoid punishment, and hit with accuracy.
Terence Crawford, what did you do to actually get a win over him?
I agree with Augie. With what he said about Floyd, I'm going to say about Crawford. You got to punch with Crawford. You got to counter Crawford and punch with Crawford. You got to bang the body with Crawford. You got to stay on top of Crawford. You know what I mean? Fight him in that phone booth if you can. I mean, as I remember, that's exactly what I did. You know, Crawford, he switches and all that. I don't get that. I don't get out my hookup with all the switching he does. But what tripped me out was he got low in the ring. Like, he kind of like cut his height down. I had a field day with that. He should have stayed tall. You know, he cut his height down, and you know, I stayed in his chest. You know, and you gotta counter Crawford. You gotta fight Crawford. And what I always thought about Crawford was he's easily taken out his hookup. I thought, you know, maybe he fought his fight. I thought he fought my fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he grew out of getting out of his hookup. I think I think he learned how to just kind of adjust and do what needed to be done more so.
Break that down for us, guys. What do you guys mean the hookup? Break that down for us.
So yeah, you know what?
Getting caught up in a war?
I'll go ahead, Miguel. Like break down Bud getting caught out of his hookup.
Well, you know, with Bud, I thought, you know, but you can easily get Bud to fight you.
Back in the day. Yeah. And you know, Gamboa, you know, showed parts of that. You know, and Bud, all his fights, Bud fights you. Yeah.
Bud gets, you know what I mean? Every fight I see Bud fighting, even still to this day, but I totally understand what Sean's saying. For sure. Bud's the truth. But when I see Bud fighting, you catch him, he want to catch you back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You fight Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Longtime Crawford trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre gave his opinion on the victory over Canelo Alvarez. He emphasized how well prepared they were for every scenario and said that Crawford had an easy battle. Bomac also discussed the criticism of Crawford's career decisions, stating that many fans and commentators frequently recommend opponents they believe Crawford ought to face. When Crawford declines those fights, some claim he is avoiding them. But Bomac denied the claims, claiming that Crawford is just doing what he wants to do and not what other people want him to do. According to him, Crawford's legacy should be determined by his performance in the ring over the years rather than by what the general audience wants.
Absolutely, but they're probably thinking the way we were all thinking, that just because of the weight he should be okay because he's the naturally bigger man. But someone like Crawford, obviously, who's done what he's done, you have to be on the top of your game. And I felt with Canelo, it was probably too many single shots that he was throwing, but he wasn't throwing the usual singles and backing it up because he was getting counted.
And he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, it wasn't just that Canelo was bad is what I'm trying to get at. Crawford was absolutely sensational on the night and the deserved winner and one of the best.
Because the other side of the argument would be that they actually thought they might be getting Crawford at the right time because he hadn't fought for a while and had some particular surgery. I mean, did it go, as I said to you at the top of the show, Bomac, I mean, I watched you in the corner and I thought it was a exercise in how a corner should be conducted in terms of the communication, the coherency of it and the discipline behind who spoke, when they spoke, what they said and what needed to be heard. Did the fight go exactly as you had mapped out in your mind and what you thought would manifest itself? Is this your last fight? You know, which really annoyed me with Max Kellerman going in and making that the stop part of his questions. Do you think, Bomac, that he gets the recognition and the appreciation that his achievements merit?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Why do you think that is?
I think because of the simple fact that Terrence is his own man. You know, he knows the path that he wants to go. And some of the boxing critics or some of the boxing people around boxing figure he should go this route or he should go that route. When he didn't go that route and he went this route, he's ducking the other middleweights. I mean, the other welterweights. So he's ducking the 140-pounder. No, he's not ducking them. He's just not available. Well, he should have went this way. I didn't want to go that way. I wanted to go this way because that's the way I wanted to go.
By discussing what made Floyd Mayweather so unique that no one could ever beat him in his day, Tony Jeffrey contributed to the conversation. He claimed that Mayweather was exceptional not just for his defense, but also for his timing, footwork, and capacity to outsmart his rivals. According to Jeffrey, Even the finest boxers found it difficult to defeat Floyd because of his nearly flawless mobility. Additionally, he reminded supporters that Mayweather's career included numerous fights against and victories over legendary fighters, further demonstrating his incredible talent. Although Crawford has accomplished some incredible feats, Jeffrey's remarks served as a reminder that Mayweather's career remains among the most illustrious and technically remarkable in boxing history.
But if you study Floyd closely, like I have, you will notice that he never wastes any steps while he's in the ring. He will pivot just enough to take away the angle from the person in front of him, then he will reset in the center of the ring, and his movement and his footwork was just perfect. And it was his feet that made him control every single fight, putting him in the perfect position to defend punches, then that small little sidestep either way to put him into the position to be able to land punches back. And he would also use his front foot to apply pressure with them small little steps, waiting for that moment to land them punches. And if you train boxing, you should be constantly working on the specific footwork things that you need to work on, because you might agree with me, but without good feet, nothing else matters.
That concludes the video for today. Keep an eye out. I'll see you later.